Papa Squat, coming at ya. Hey everybody. It is Sunday evening. It's almost 9 o'clock here, and I figured it was about time to do my video for today. I felt like we hadn't really gone back to the 80s in a while. I think I did actually have a song earlier this week, but it might have been in the 90s, I'm not sure. But we're going back to 1983. And we've done a fair amount of music from this soundtrack. The movie Wild Style, which is the first hip-hop film that was, let's see, it was made in 82, edited in 83, and edited in 80, I'm completely a year off, was filmed in 81, edited in 82, and got everything together, and then it was released in 83, so it kind of represents a lot of this time period. I don't know if they did any re-recording or anything to update some of the music when it actually came out. But today we're going to listen to the theme song to that. So it is Grandmaster Kaz and Chris Stein with Wild Style Theme Rap. I was looking at another site, I think it's rateyourmusic.com, that I get this list off of, and it was interesting because apparently these tracks were left off of the reissue of this album when it was re-released within the last decade or so, and they had some interesting things to say about it, that it's sort of a weird, meandering, it is almost 7 minutes long, weird, meandering combination of like hip-hop and rock, and they said it's interesting and it ultimately gets there. So I'm actually really curious to see what this is like. I have started watching the first little bit of it to set the sound level and to make sure the ad played. I doubt we'll get one in the middle, but who knows. So let's go. Grandmaster Kaz and Chris Stein, Wild Style Theme Rap from 1983. It's a little muted. Actually, like, it kind of gives me this weird combination of Western-ish sort of feel to it, along with a little more gothic feel, and also just sort of a, I don't know, rock and roll-y kind of theatrical feel. Love how they're using the scratching there. Let me back that up. I really like the way they were using the scratching there. That kind of felt like feet moving, like shuk shuk shuk, and it was cool.
DJ's cuts is all that was heard on the funky beats that he used to play. Made everybody want to be a DJ. A funny thing happened in New York streets. Rhymes were being said along with the beats. Now things have turned around, and it appears to me everyone wants to rap or be an MC.
Yeah, this is not mixed well. His voice needs to be out in front of the music a little bit more, and I'm sure it's not helped that this is probably a recording off of a record. But it's lacking a little more presence than it needs. Sounds neat.
From the street came art, very new you see. Now seen in the museum or gallery, not hung in mansions.
That was neat.
Halls, but on buses, trains, even the walls. Graffiti ghetto art, or taking your name, the artist's way of reaching for fame. Shouldn't lie the public like a lightning storm.
Do you see how weird and disruptive that was when that hi-hat came in? It really changed things in a weird way. Backing up a little.
King art, very new you see. Now seen in the museum or gallery. songs, but on buses, trains, even the walls. Graffiti ghetto art, by tagging your name, the artist's way of reaching for fame. Shouldn't light the public like a lightning storm, now recognized as a new art form.
Worked all right. I like this.
The hustle for couples, the smurfers too, break dances, whatever you want to. A combination of ballet and acrobatics. Practice is what makes you good at it. Turns, flips, spinning on the floor. B-boys against each other, competition is sure. We won't bore you with an explanation. Sit back and let us give you a demonstration.
Wow. Wow, just a completely different feel to this. It could be a completely separate song. Kind of cool. I mean, I like when they do stuff like this, and this is absolutely one of those, let's experiment and play with stuff and do whatever we feel like doing and just come up with something that sounds good at the end. I like some of those sounds. Okay, that whole transition thing there was really funky and weird, but it was cool, and it actually really does now remind me of jazz, especially with using the turntables, because it's basically what you're doing, right? Like you can sort of predict how they're going to sound, but it's not going to be exactly the same, so you really do have to control it and know exactly how you want to move things, which is very jazz-like. They need to be able to kind of go off the cuff and still make it sound good. This is a really neat song. Totally all over the place. Very experimental, and it's cool. Oh yeah, definitely get a like an arcade video game feel from some of the sound effects there too. They get a little off the beat a number of times, which bothers me a little bit as a drummer, but I can see how that can happen pretty easily with how they're making this. I'm sure nobody's still watching this. But it's interesting because I had to kind of remind myself, like, it's an interesting song, but really this is supposed to just be playing over the end credits of a film or maybe the beginning of it. So it's sort of interesting to think of it in that vein as well. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, that could have ended a long time ago. But actually, it is a pretty good song. I like a lot about it. If they would have cut out maybe the last minute or so, they certainly could have tightened it up a lot, but then it wouldn't be this song, right? We've talked about that before. But yeah, I love this sort of thing because it's just crazy, experimental, do stuff, and you know, so many people who were in the rap business and hip hop early days, you know, during this time period, would have heard this. There weren't that many albums coming out at the time that something like this, which I don't know if the hip hop people, culture, I'm not sure, the business, the industry, that's what I'm trying to think of, would look down on this album because it was from a movie, or did they like it because it was very much bootstrapped, like thrown together by people who were passionate about hip hop. So I don't know how this was received by the hip hop and rap community, but that would be interesting to find out, because I'm betting pretty much everybody who was listening to this music at the time heard this album, so they would have heard this track, which is cool because they did do a bunch of stuff that, you know, other people would have looked at that and gone, oh yeah, okay, that's interesting. So anyway, yeah, I like that one. I would actually listen to that again, just to have on in the car or in the background, whatever. That, I think that's a really kind of a fun, like I said, experimental. It has gives me a little bit of a techno-y electronica edge as well. So yeah, very, very cool. Pop Squat, check it out. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know if you got something you want me to listen to in the comments. Bye-bye.